going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale, and I am so freaking excited right now. I have Royal and Flobby, the two Golem Gods, both on voice. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Really good.
Ash.
Hey
Really
guys,
well.
I'm so happy to have you both here. Today, we're going to be playing some Golem. You guys are going to be alternating ladder, playing your two favorite decks right now. Flobby shared his with Lightning. Royal shared his with the Edrag and Poison in there. And you know, there's so many questions that I have for you guys. I want to kind of compare your play styles. I want to talk about the state of Golem and play philosophy. But before we get to any of that, let's just start out by telling you a little bit about why you chose this deck. Flobby, we'll start with you.
Yeah, first I need to say that Golem is not the strongest card right now in this meta, but I think it's still viable. But yeah, let's see how it will change in the future. And yeah, I chose this deck because I, in general, liked Golem Lightning a lot. And yeah, the variation with Lumberjack and Knight, which is really strong, with the double air support, Mega Minion and Baby Jang. And yeah, in general, I think this deck is really solid. But yeah, it depends on if the enemies are playing Tombstone and stuff like that, because then this deck might be not that strong because you don't have a lock and you don't have a poison.
Okay, and that makes sense. And why do you prefer your deck to that one, Royal?
Yeah, so in this meta, Lava is pretty strong, so I used to use Tombstone instead of Edrag, but now that Lava is so popular, I was like, okay, I need another air troop, so I decided to put Edrag instead of Tombstone, and then Poison, because there is so much Tombstones right now, I kinda need it.
Okay, yeah, and the rest of your decks are obviously pretty similar with the Mega Minion and the Lumberjack and the Barbarian Barrel as well, and the NATO on both of those decks. So, very interesting here. Who wants to go ahead and hop in first?
I can start.
Okay, Flobby's going to go in first. So, we talked about this, I think, in our individual videos, but I don't think that we've actually really gone in depth about this. Well, we've never had you both on voice, so this is the first time. But let's talk a little bit to start things out here about your play styles and how that might relate to my viewers. So, Royal, since Flobby's the one playing first, why don't you talk about like the way you see your play style with Golem Beatdown compared to Flobby, and what kind of player that might suit better?
Well, I'm gonna see his playstyle right now, and then
feel free, like I said before we started recording, to point out like any differences in what you guys would do. Now, let me just ask you a blunt question: would either of you, under any circumstance, play Golem as the first play on your side? So, like, what are the situations? Yeah, go ahead.
Just if I'm mad. Really, like I just do it if I'm mad. Like normally I wouldn't do it. Like normally I always react, but yeah, exactly.
So I don't do it on tilts, but like on high ladder, if I know an opponent is using Lava and I'm 100% sure he's actually using that deck, I'd probably start with Golem because that's a good play against Lava. But other than that, I would not do.
What if they started out with, like, let's say they make the first move, what is a good move that you would respond with Golem? So let's say, I'll throw a couple at you. Let's say they start out with a Knight in the back of the King Tower. Would you go Golem? Ooh, Flobby. Oh, look at this.
I knew that he would probably also play Golem because like no other deck is waiting except Golem
2
and Lava.
minutes,
So
yeah, a minute and a half, yeah.
basically, that's what I played.
Well, so you're both Golem beasts here. We'll talk about the Knight in the back situation in a minute. But like, okay, it's Golem versus Golem. What is the key factors here, and how are you going to win the mirror matchup?
I will.
Oh yeah, you go.
I will first NATO the Golem to the King if that is possible. Oh man, nice. I failed. Nice. he was too low. Like normally it would work, but he was so low that he exploded and then it didn't work. Nice.
And he
but it's still fine.
So in terms of the matchup keys, like what does this come down to besides trying to activate King Tower?
It's
interesting because I can't really say. Maybe Royal can say something about it because it's...
so it's basically what he did. He saw that his opponent dropped a Golem. He dropped a Golem in the corner because he was expecting his opponent to have a Golem, and then usually the one that dropped is in the corner going to win because he can't nado his Golem, but Flobby can nado the opponent Golem.
Okay. And do you like that play that, Royal, do you like that play that Flobby just made, starting in the back with the Night Witch Lumberjack, then the Golem at bridge? Is that what you would have done too?
Yeah, that's the basic Golem combo you want to do if you have a good a good hand or a good starting hand.
Okay. And here just kind of defending, getting that lightning value, and man, this is going to be made to look... Oh, he gets the golem down, but too late. I guess he was kind of in a do-or-die situation there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he had to.
Yeah.
There is no...
I guess one thing about this match, as it looks like you're going to clean up nicely here and win the game, but one thing about this match that I'm never certain of is, okay, like Flobby did there, do I go with a Night Witch in the back, or do I go with a Golem in the back on the second Golem play he made in the match, you know? Is it just, what kind of differentiates that decision for you guys?
Yeah, that's one of the things I always do. Like, I always play a Night Witch or, like, not the Lumberjack because he's too fast, always a Night Witch in the back. Or a Mega Minion, and because if my my enemy will play Golem in the back, I will play it aggressive. Like in the most situations, also if it's close from the time to the end, then it's really good because you can get his tower and he has not even the time to react then, or you can easily defend because you can stack troops because of because you have more elixir because it pushes so long.
So when you drop that Night Witch in the back, it's almost like a bait play. Not a bait, but like, okay, are you going to make the mistake of dropping your Golem in the back and let me take your tower here, kind of?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
Royal, you want to hop in, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna search right now.
As far as the
Hopefully
general playstyle there, Royal, what do you do as far as what Flobby's decision making? I mean, that was a really basic match, but do you would you have handled that the same exact way?
Yeah, because you wanna drop the golem as late as possible, so you are going to fight on your side or at least like in the middle. That way you can control the map better, because if all your troops are going on his side, then he can basically control where to put his troops, and then he'll probably win the bridge battle and then also kill your troops.
Yeah, for sure. Have you guys happened to see any of my, or I'll let you kind of talk, deal with this matchup first. So Royal Giant, how do you feel about this matchup?
It's tough.
It's depends if he has Tombstone or not.
Yeah. If he has Furnace, I guess it's worse for you. Because if you have Tombstone, it's pretty good because you can easily poison Tombstone.
Yeah.
But still, it's a weird deck because he has Ice Wizard and Electro Wizard.
Now, Flobby, would you have Golem there?
Maybe yes, because he had like a little elixir advantage.
Yeah.
Because he played the Barbara, and he doesn't really get that much damage, and he has now a bowler who's also not that strong in defense. So let's see.
Yeah, let's see
what he can do about it.
And also because his what's it called? His Royal Giant was out of cycle. He was like 3 cards away from it.
Yeah.
So I was waiting with the Lumberjack a little bit because I didn't want to give him a lot of NATO value with the bowler.
And wow, you get the Lumberjack to the tower. That's probably going to be tower down here. Beast mode. And that was all on that one Golem decision. Now, did you guys, I'm not sure if you guys have happened to see Monkeys, who's like another top ladder Golem player.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's necessarily on the same level as you guys, but man, that 12-year-old has a lot of heart and I love his gameplay. But he plays really aggressively, like way more aggressive than even Royal, right? So I'm wondering what you guys think of that play style in terms of the incredibly high risk, high reward, dropping Golem, totally giving up a tower and barely defending, and then going for the 3 crown or going just to overpower your enemy.
I don't really like the strategy because it's too risky. Like, it's not my playstyle.
Yeah, I like basically 1 year ago I probably played like him, but I learned to play way more defensive also because of Royal. Because Royal, like you just said aggressive, but I don't know. Like for me, Royal is like the most defensive Golem player. Like I always try to learn some things from him because he's playing so defensive with Golem and really like thinking about when to drop which card, which I never did that well as him. So that's something I really learned from Royal, and that made me also a bit better.
Wow, that's really cool to hear. Yeah, Royal, did you have any moments like that you were just watching Flobby's gameplay that you kind of were like, oh, I like how he handles that situation, or I like that he does this, or something like that?
So I've been watching every episode of him because, of course, you can never master. Like, you can say you master anything 100%, you can master like 95, but you still have something to learn. Yeah. And then I learned how to be aggressive when you actually have to. Like, I was way too defensive in the beginning, and then I learned when to be more aggressive.
That's actually really interesting. Flobby, feel free to search for your next match, man. All right, well, here we go against a Hog Mortar deck. Wow, a little reminiscent of maybe Macarius-ish, but not really.
The problem,
yeah,
the problem was in the beginning that I like didn't have a NATO in cycle, and right now I can't really play it. Maybe I could have because of the fireball, but I didn't want to risk it. But it's fine because I still get some damage, and yeah.
Yeah. So this is
in
kind of
overtime.
Go ahead,
it's
yeah.
definitely really good for me.
So this is one of those matchups that my viewers probably go against all the time on ladder, like these, you know, off-meta hog decks or dual win condition hog decks. So, are you play a golem here knowing that his hog was out of cycle, I assume?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
And he won't go. Yeah, and he won't go aggressive with this mod.
This
Also,
is
last
tricky,
time I had elixir advantage, but I didn't play. I didn't get damage at this push because he was still really good in defending. Right now he also has enough elixir to defend because he has so much spam and stuff. But okay, I need to take care of the fireball. He will probably still fireball right now.
There's the problem with Mortar. Even though Flobby had a huge elixir advantage, he could defend because he has a lot of cheap stuff and then fireball and zap.
Yeah, definitely. And there it is again, that fireball. Doesn't zap this time, but this time you got a raised up baby dragon on that tower. And the golem's gonna get there.
That's probably GG.
Yeah.
Yeah, that deck then is gonna still hit the tower, right?
The thing is, I had an elixir advantage and was twice not able to connect to the tower, but like then after he defends, like I still like was able to build a bigger elixir advantage, and then finally got him with the last push.
Cool, Royal, you're up, man. This is awesome. Here we go against Miro Medieval. I wanted to ask you guys, you both are CRL pros, obviously. You play a bunch of different decks, not just Golem. Compared to when playing Golem as compared to other archetypes, is there any like major differences in terms of what you're thinking about during a match, what you're keeping track of, or is it all the same no matter what the deck is?
What? Anyone wants to draw? Okay, yeah, for me it's like as important with Golem to know the enemy's cycle and the enemy's elixir as with every deck. I guess especially in esports, like I'm really focused on the enemy, what he will play and stuff. But yeah, because you play less troops, you can either focus on it. And in ladder sometimes if I play like for a long time, sometimes I don't even think about what I'm playing because it's like all basics because I played Golem for such a long time. So sometimes I don't need to focus that much when I play ladder, but in esports definitely.
And you also get a feeling for your opponent's elixir after playing a lot of time.
Yeah, in Golem though, like are you keeping track of like the same thing? Like they're just their win condition, and when they have it in hand, and when they don't, it's a good time to drop Golem, basically, like in a nutshell, in terms of your thought process.
You have to keep track of win condition and elixir friends.
Yes.
Yep.
That's a little bit easier than like a hog cycle deck because you know you don't have to worry about their counters so much. You know, like because oftentimes when you're playing Golem, they just show you like, okay, they dropped the P.E.K.K.A, but now it's all about like how you support. And is that where, in terms of like, I think I probably asked both of you guys this, and this match is enthralling so far. I think I've asked both of you guys this like one-on-one, but you know, I don't know. I'm gonna re-ask it just in case my viewers are new or whatever. But like, where do you find the talent gap is, the skill gap is between like both of you guys and just other good, other like average or good Golem players? Like, what is it? Does it come down to how you guys support your Golem when you have it down? Your decision making, when to put pressure on, when not to? Like, can you guys, Flobby, I'll let you answer first because Royal's gonna handle this.
Yeah, I think one important point is definitely like we have a lot of experience with Golem, so we played for a long time and focused on Golem, for a long time. I probably even longer than Royal, or definitely longer because he played a bit before. And also, I don't know, like sometimes I feel like you need to have like a handle for deck. It's like everybody is focusing on some decks, and it's like, I don't know, if you like to play beatdown, then it's definitely easier to learn or to get good with Golem. If you're more a cycle player, it's also harder. And yeah, I think we both are pretty like a mix of aggressive and defensive golem plays. So yeah.
Yeah, and that was really nice there, taking care of that Pekka with the lumberjack. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, that was so well played.
That was very well played. GG's. Okay, let's go into the next Flobby match, and while we search this time instead of cutting, let's continue that conversation. Royal, what about you? Is there anything that you can like pinpoint? Okay, this is what a guy like Flobby or I, someone on our level, does differently. Like, is there maybe not necessarily one play, but anything that comes to mind just strategically or anything that separates, that can help my viewers try to get to where you guys are?
So, for example, I think there are some matchups that everybody knows how to handle, and then there are some harder matchups that only a few players know. For example, P.E.K.K.A, where you always need to have either Edrag or Night Witch to support the Golem, because otherwise you won't be able to break through the P.E.K.K.A. Or for example, Golem Mirror, because Golem Mirror is actually pretty hard to learn, so you can be consistent and winning instead of getting lucky.
Yeah. So it's just basically practicing matchups, it sounds like, is really key to success.
If you realize you keep losing against a certain archetype, you can just practice it a lot against someone who is good with that deck, and then you'll start learning how to win it.
Flobby forgot to search. We're back in the game. So, so back to what we were talking about, though. So, yeah, it sounds like you guys just focus on walking away feeling like, okay, I was doing something differently there. Because there's one thing to watch a loss on replay, right? And that's what I'm trying to work on right now with the P.E.K.K.A deck that I've been playing. Is like, you can watch and you're like, okay, that was kind of a stupid mistake and whatever. But then replaying that match is really where the learning process, in my opinion, comes in. But it's difficult, you know? It feels like work when you start to do that as opposed to just, oh, it's a fun mobile game, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you wanna get to a certain level, you have to play every matchup a lot of times, and then also play a lot, because that's the only way to get better.
Yeah, and I noticed... Well, a P.E.K.K.A matchup, yay! So it's definitely going to be... my viewers should have a good understanding of how to walk away with a P.E.K.K.A strategy here. So this is kind of another weird deck. I don't know if it's a P.E.K.K.A... It's got to be Graveyard, right?
Yeah, probably.
I think so.
And Flobby's running Lightning, so definitely not the matchup that you would hope for here.
Yeah, that's true. I probably should have buffered. Okay, no, fine. That was close.
Yeah. So in a matchup like this, are you... Well, you did play that Golem early. It looks like both of you from these matches so far, both of you are totally willing to play Golem like early on in the match.
Yeah, the thing is, right now I have like a Elixir advantage, and also back then I had, but the problem is like, yeah.
How do you get through
how do I get through? Like, and he also played the Furnace a bit too low on the other side, so I was able to go to the tower directly. But it's not the what is not the fact right now, but yeah.
Yeah, do you think that you'd have a much better shot against this matchup with your deck, Royal?
Yeah, because I have poison, and then
Edrag too.
This guy has Graveyard. The Lightning's not. So you basically have to keep the Barbarelli in cycle every time.
Yeah.
The Dragon.
Yeah, good poison.
Graveyard, and he poisons. Yeah, this is a tough matchup, man.
Yeah.
But
if Lumberjack can fast enough, I would go aggressive right now because I still have the Lumberjack and everything. But he has like another P.E.K.K.A. It's so hard.
Yeah, this is a real tough one.
That's what sucks with Golem, because you spend 8 elixir, and then he doesn't even like target other troops. He just goes straight to the tower, and then he only has to spend 7 elixir, which is going to kill your 8 elixir. So you need a huge elixir advantage in order to...
Yeah, and it looks like, this is a tough one. What are you going to do, you know? What can you do against this? But hey, well played anyway. Let's go ahead and do one more match with Royal. And I wanted to kind of get your guys' thoughts, because tomorrow, or actually in 2 days from now, we will have, or 1 day from some of my viewers, we'll have the Wall Breakers introduced to the game. So I'm curious, there's been some speculation that the card, you know, probably is not going to be meta. At least that's my opinion. I think it's going to be pretty crappy. But some people are saying, wait a second, it could actually be viable in Golem decks. So who better to ask than you two? Do you think that you'd even give a try to Wall Breakers in Golem decks?
No way, because like Golem is already targeting buildings, so why would you bomb deck as well?
Yeah,
The
Royal,
thing
you,
is-
you can search too, by the way, Royal. Yeah,
The
go
thing
ahead,
is,
Flobby.
maybe they will be viable in a few decks, but I think it will be more strong with like Giant or something, because Golem is already so expensive and
Yeah.
is going for the tower. And if you then put another card which is just going for the tower, it sucks a bit. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Because you need more groups instead of actual tower damage.
Yeah, I feel like the card just is going to be pretty bad, but I could be wrong, man. I'm happy to be proven wrong. I would not, I don't root for cards to be bad, you know, but I just feel like it's not a good one, but we'll see. So, Inferno Dragon, that's not good to see, but
Probably Mega Knight, Inferno, Poison, Miner.
So I had Edrag right now, but I want to spend it. I'm gonna use it because I'm gonna use it now because it was too expensive. So Mega Million.
I have,
I think I'm gonna go with Golem right now because I'm not spent a lot. 9 just.
yeah, I think we're losing your connection a little bit on your voice, Royal, but
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay, we got you
I
now.
moved the mic by mistake.
oh, that's okay. All right, so he's gonna pressure you big time, right? So this is like a situation where I feel like monkeys would just let the tower go, like who cares, you know? But you're more happy to defend and force another card out of him.
Yeah, I don't have Edragon.
Ah,
Played it really well there.
That's unlucky because he exactly cycled back to Inferno Dragon. It was like one card. I thought it was one card missing, but he exactly cycled to Inferno Dragon, and that's why he was able to defend this push. Because if Royal has no Inferno Dragon, Electro Dragon, I mean, then it's so hard to defend
Yeah,
or to come through.
totally true. Like you saw now in hindsight, it's obvious too to see that he basically spammed Miner, Bats, Bar Barrel, everything in that right lane just so he could have the Inferno Dragon as his next card up. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a good play though because
Yeah.
he knew he has to pressure me because all he needs to defend is the E-Dragon. So props to him there.
Yeah, for sure.
If
So
the
now,
E-Dragon is gonna turn, yeah, it's gonna turn. I'm gonna drop the Golem.
yep.
I wasn't sure if he's going to. Hopefully, he's going to get it in time. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just need him to get to that tower, but Ram Rider, man.
Yeah. Ram Rider is pretty good.
Yeah. I have tomorrow on the channel. I have Thunderstruck, and he says, in his opinion, Ram Rider is one of the best win conditions in the game right now, but people are sleeping on it. All right.
Yeah, I also think it's pretty strong. I like not the best, but definitely strong.
Come on, man. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. This is going to overtime.
That's fine. Could be worse.
Yeah, right? Okay, so overtime, when you guys have opposite towers, do you have any preference for what tower you're going to go to? 3 crown versus 2 crown?
Usually 2 crown, unless I have like a huge.
Okay.
Going to be.
So you're usually going to be playing support shoots in back, just like we saw there, and then golem in pocket.
Oh, the retarget. That was unfortunate. Yeah,
That was unlucky.
exactly.
Normally, the E-Dragon would have tackled the Inferno Dragon,
Yeah.
but the E was retargeted, and then...
Yeah. All right. So he's going all in here. Bar Barrel coming in huge, but man, that annoying Ram Rider does connect.
Yeah, that's the thing, like, it's really hard to defend minor Ram Rider in these situations, because
Yeah.
there's only, like, the Lumberjack and the E-Dragon, which can really, really well defend it, and yeah.
Yeah, and you need that Edrag for the Inferno Drag too. It's kind of...
Oh, but maybe you can aid it, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Oof. Man, that Edrag's like always in cycle for him.
Yeah, I lost.
There we go. Yeah, GG's. Well, hey guys, we started out with 4 wins at least. So looking back at that match, do you think that, man, that was a tricky deck? That was actually a pretty interesting deck that he was playing. But do you think you could have done everything differently, Royal?
Yeah, if I would have waited until double elixir, I could have defended his like counter push on the other lane. But in single elixir, you only have like 3 elixir when he goes all in, so you can't do much.
Got you. So being a little bit more maybe passive in single elixir.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Really, really appreciate you both taking the time out to do this. Any final thoughts or shout outs or anything like that before we let you guys go? Flobby, start with you.
Yeah, maybe one more thing. Like as you saw in the last like matches, that's also why Golem is probably not that strong at the moment, and at least in high ladder. Because I mean, you see decks like P.E.K.K.A, Graveyard Poison, or you see decks like Inferno Dragon, Psycho with the Ram Rider. So yeah, it's like a lot of matchups were really hard to play with Golem, and that's why Golem is not the strongest right now, but it's still definitely viable.
Yeah. Royal, anything to add to that? And actually,
Also
I wanted to get... Yeah, go ahead.
There is a lot of P.E.K.K.A right now. I don't know why, because there is a lot of lava as well, but there is a lot of P.E.K.K.A, and P.E.K.K.A counters Golem pretty hard right now.
Yeah, I wanted to get both of your thoughts on the new clone. Like, do you think that... I'm assuming the answer is no, but do you think that there's any chance that clone would actually be competitively viable with the Golem with the new mechanic?
Yeah.
Does it change? Yeah?
Yeah, if you ban, like in CRL in Season 1,
Mm-hmm.
when people banned Poison and Nado, clone was actually pretty viable.
Yeah, but not because of the change. I think just in general because of the bans.
I got you. I got you. So it's something that you guys might have up your sleeve in 2019 CRL if it ever happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, exactly. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for doing this again. I'll have all of their information, their channels, their social media, everything will be in the show notes for you guys. Any shouts or anything, guys, before we let you go?
Thanks for inviting.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us. That's all I have to say.
No problem, guys. You're two of my favorite guys to have on the channel, so I really appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Please check out both their player stats and profiles. Thanks to Royale.com in the show notes below. A huge shout out to Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Check out him as well, guys. Thank you so much, and as always, take care, guys.